Property Matters. Made better by Better Bond.
We see them popping up everywhere, especially around the major metros where the demand for residential accommodation is high. I'm talking about new housing developments. Whether big or small, freestanding or apartments, there's something to suit all tastes and all pockets. Because welcome. Let's define the term new development.
Thank you. Yeah, there's three different types of new developments. The first is commonly known as brownfields, and what that means is that's conversion of existing block. So previously you saw that a lot in the city of Johannesburg, city of Cape Town, where they convert old office buildings into these modern apartments. Then you've got greenfields, but there's also two elements to it. The one is you go and buy an open piece of property, but there's already a road next to it. You rezone that and you build apartment blocks, or you buy up 3 or 4, 5, 6 different houses, you demolish them, and then you build new apartments or new homes. And then lastly, what is generally known as greenfields is big open tracts of land. And then you go and build a lot of things on there, from freestanding houses, RDPs, apartment blocks, there's shopping centers, there's garages, there's place of work, there's educational facilities, there's place of worship. So it's a new town almost, or a new extension to a town.
So what are the positive aspects of buying a new property?
I think there's various, but you also have to look at the negative side. Like with anything in life, there's some negative as well. The first is, if you look and move into a new development, generally the first people that move into somewhat of a construction site. Yeah. Definitely time delays. So you buy a house today, and you can only move in 12 or 18 months. And that's psychological. You're so excited. You've now been earning a good living. You can afford a better place for your family. You want to buy a property. You actually qualify for a bond, and then you only move in much later. If we then look at the positives, it's generally better priced or better value for money. Developers have to get the banks to pre-approve the valuation. Developers are in the hands of the major banks to approve those bonds because they don't really have a product if you don't have finance. Then from an affordability perspective or finance perspective, it's easier because that valuation is already in place. It's not something that must still be valued. You're not sure if the value is really in the property. And then you can also get yourself pre-approved and then capital growth. So if you look from a value for money perspective, if you look at certain developments after 2.5 to 3 years, you already have an excess of 30% capital growth from our experience. And then very lastly, you get some guarantees. So there's firstly NHBRC, which gives you a structural guarantee for 3 years. And then also in the first 3 months, if anything breaks or there's a remedial period where developers will go and fix those property for you. Where if you move into a second-hand house, anything that broke or anything that the seller hidden away from you is unfortunate at your cost.
And what are the aspects to be cautious about when buying a new development?
Generally, you have to look at track record of the developer, but there's also two sides to it. If you buy a freestanding property, again, a house, what generally happens is the developer first transfers the stand to you, and then it builds with your money. So the stand gets transferred, gets paid for by your mortgage, and then on monthly draws or progress draws gets paid for. So their track record is very important because you have to make sure that you don't end up with a half-built house and the developer ran away. But if you buy into an apartment block, you as a client go and sign off on the quality, that you're happy with the product, your bank go and sign off that they're happy with the product, and only then it gets transferred.
Now, are there legal as well as financial processes that may be different in buying a new development as opposed to an existing property?
The developer generally apply on your behalf for your end-user bond. The developer makes sure that you get the best interest rate. The developer submit the final documents to the bank. There's no transfer duties, no VAT, because it's incorporated in the price. And further to that, you don't pay generally your registration fees for the property as well as your bond. To register a bond with a bank, there's also cost involved, and the developers take care of that as well. So it's not only a lot simpler for the consumer, it's also a lot more price effective.
Thank you, Vickers. Buying a residential property in a brand new development could be an exciting solution if you're looking to save on transfer duty or haven't had any luck finding your dream home from the existing inventory available in your desired area. Just remember, buying a new build doesn't mean the rules fly out the window. You still have to do your research, check your affordability, get a bond pre-approval, ask questions, and make sure that you're 100% happy with all the terms and conditions before putting pen to paper.